Have you ever thought about who is the most unpleasant character in Harry Potter? What if it's not Voldemort, but someone even more disturbing? In today's video, you'll find out why Dolores Umbridge became so cruel and what happened to her after the war. For many fans, Umbridge was the true villain of the series. Unlike Voldemort, who openly embraced his evil nature, she hid behind a mask of politeness and authority. Every act of cruelty she committed was perfectly legal. She never broke the rules, she created them. But why was she like this? What shaped her into the monster that tormented Hogwarts students? Before stepping into the castle, Dolores Umbridge had already built a career in the Ministry of Magic. Born a half-blood, she despised her own background. Her father was a lowly janitor in the ministry, and her mother was a muggle. When her brother was born a squib, Umbridge sided with her father, blaming her mother for tainting their bloodline. At 15, she cut ties with them completely, staying with her father. But even he wasn't good enough for her. As soon as she climbed the ranks in the ministry, she forced him into early retirement, ashamed of his humble position. Her career skyrocketed not because of talent, but because of cunning. She knew how to manipulate those in power, flattering superiors and crushing anyone below her. But despite her ambition, she never married. She longed for a pure-blood husband, but her disturbing personality drove everyone away. When Cornelius Fudge feared that Dumbledore was plotting against him, he sent Umbridge to Hogwarts to keep the headmaster in check. First, she banned practical lessons in defense against the dark arts. Then she was promoted to High Inquisitor, imposing strict and absurd rules on students and teachers alike. Soon, she ruled the school with an iron fist. She outlawed student gatherings, censored mail, and even resorted to using a blood quill on Harry Potter. Her darkest moment came when she threatened to use the Cruciatus curse on Harry. But before she could, he and Hermione lured her into the Forbidden Forest, where she faced the wrath of centaurs, creatures she had long mistreated. Only Dumbledore managed to save her. After returning to the ministry, she quickly adapted to Voldemort's new regime. She ran the Muggle-born Registration Commission, sending innocent people to Azkaban. She even carried Slytherin's locket, pretending it was a family heirloom to hide her half-blood status. When the Dark Lord fell, she wasn't spared. Arrested for her crimes, she was sent to Azkaban, where she likely met her end. But what made her so cruel? Her cold upbringing, her obsession with power? Or was she simply born that way? Even J.K. Rowling admitted that Umbridge was as evil as Bellatrix Lestrange. And after everything she did, it's hard to disagree. The fall of Dolores Umbridge did not mean the end of corruption in the Ministry of Magic. She was only a symptom of a larger disease, an institution where power often served those who sought control rather than justice. Even after Voldemort's defeat, shadows lingered in the halls of the ministry, hiding those who had once thrived under tyranny. Some had been loyal to the Dark Lord, others had no allegiance at all, only a hunger for authority. One such figure was Pius Thickness. Under the Imperius Curse, he became Voldemort's puppet as Minister for Magic. But what about after the war? Many believed he was merely a victim, a man forced to obey. Yet whispers suggested otherwise. Thickness had been ambitious long before he fell under Voldemort's control. He had no problem enforcing harsh laws, signing decrees that targeted Muggle-borns. Was he really innocent, or did the curse only magnify what was already inside him? Albert Runcorn, a high-ranking ministry official, built his career on spying and persecution. Even before Voldemort's rise, he worked for the improper use of magic office, investigating wizards suspected of breaking the law. Under Voldemort's rule, he thrived. He sent countless Muggle-borns to Azkaban without trial, enjoying his power. "I know Runcorn's office," Arthur Weasley once muttered darkly. "Never met a man so obsessed with tracking people." When the Ministry fell, he disappeared. Did he escape justice, or did he manage to worm his way back into the system? There was also Damocles' role. The former Minister for Magic, long before Fudge, he had established the use of Dementors as prison guards. Officially, it was for security. In truth, it was something far worse, a system of quiet torture. "Azkaban is safe under their watch," he once claimed. But those who had been inside knew the truth. Dementors did not guard. They drained, feeding on despair. Even after Rowling left office, his policies remained. How many future leaders kept his methods alive? Power corrupts. The Ministry proved it time and time again. Even after Voldemort's defeat, some old names still held influence. Lucius Malfoy was among them. A former Death Eater, he avoided Azkaban by betraying his own kind. But did he truly change? The Malfoy family had always been deeply connected to the Ministry, buying their way into power. It would be foolish to think that influence simply vanished. "My father will hear about this," Draco had once sneered. That wasn't just arrogance, it was reality. And what of Cornelius Fudge? He had been weak, easily manipulated, but was he truly blind, or had he looked the other way on purpose? He allowed Umbridge to rise. He refused to believe in Voldemort's return, fearing what it would mean for his own position. "The Ministry remains strong," he once assured the public. Yet behind closed doors, he did everything to maintain his grip on power. After his downfall, he faded from sight. But the damage he caused remained. Then there was Augustus Rookwood, the Death Eater who had infiltrated the Department of Mysteries. He had passed classified information to Voldemort, helping him recruit spies. But even before that, he had been a well-respected unspeakable. How had he gone unnoticed for so long? The Ministry was filled with secrecy, and some believed Rookwood was not the only traitor within its walls. His arrest did not mean his network was gone. The war changed many things, but not everything. Kingsley Shacklebolt became minister, and he tried to restore order. He fought to remove corruption, to end the influence of dark figures. But could he erase decades of manipulation in just a few years? The Ministry had always been a place of politics, deals, and hidden agendas. Justice had been served to some, but others remained in the shadows, waiting. The Ministry had always been a battlefield, and as history had shown, darkness had a way of returning.